Okay, we're joined now by NASCAR Executive Vice President Steve O'Donnell. And Steve, I think, has a couple of comments that he would like to make, and then we'll take a few questions. Steve?
Thanks, Gary. I think, first and foremost, certainly really happy to see the emotion from Jeff Gordon tonight, the win that puts him in place to run for a championship in Miami. So it was great to see the fans stick around. Want to congratulate the track on the efforts they put in today to be able to get that in, all 500 laps, which we felt like was a terrific effort by the track. I'm sure there are a number of questions about the event tonight. A lot of action took place during the race. So with that, I'd open it up to any questions anybody may have.
Raise your hand. We'll take some questions. Nate, you have one? Let's go to Nate Ryan in the middle, and then we'll go to Jeff and then Bob.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Steve, I guess the obvious one is to start with the discussion with Kenseth, and is there a possibility of parking him or further penalties? What's in the offing for there?
Yeah, I think in the case with Matt, we were certainly disappointed with what took place tonight on the racetrack. We had a conversation with Matt, crew chief, and Joe Gibbs, and like we always do, there's still a lot to digest from what happened tonight. We'll do that. We'll have some additional conversations and probably come out with something if there is anything to discuss on Tuesday.
Let's go to Jeff Gluck, and then to Bob Pockris.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. Obviously, there's a lot of intensity in the chase, but where's the line from what NASCAR wants to see out of that intensity? What's good for the sport, or what's bad for the sport as far as incidents like this?
Yeah, I think, Jeff, what we've said is the chase promotes great racing, and we saw that today on the racetrack. We saw a lot of different competitors out there competing for the win. I think what was disappointing today was in the incident that I think we're referring to would be a driver that's not competing for a win. In fact, was as many laps down when that happened. So, in our minds, that's a little bit different than two drivers really going after it, coming out of turn 4 for a win versus what happened tonight.
Let's go to Bob Pockris.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. Do you feel that the chase format kind of creates this type of reaction from a driver?
I don't, Bob. I think the chase format creates great racing on the track, and you saw 6 of the 8 competitors who are going for a championship lead laps today, drivers at their best. So, you're going to see drivers going door to door, and that's been in the history of NASCAR. We've seen that. So, again, I'd go back to this incident as a one-off that we'll look at, but we continue to believe that the chase promotes great racing on the track, and I think the fans certainly saw that today.
Got time for maybe one more, 2 more. We'll go with Kenny Bruce, and we'll end here with this gentleman right here.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. Steve, you said you guys were disappointed, and in part because it was somebody that was not in the chase. Had this been 2 chase competitors, would you all look at it differently?
No, I didn't say it because it was somebody not in the chase. I said it was because it was a driver who was many laps down, and that was where we kind of looked at it differently than we have other incidents.
Final question, this gentleman right here. Get him the mic there, please.
Charles Work, Star News. Do you think Martinsville needs lights?
That's a great question. I can tell you if we wouldn't have gotten 500 laps in, I would have said absolutely yes. I think we'll continue to look at the start time. We were certainly up against it today. We had a number of cautions, so it's something we'll talk to the track about, but really glad we were able to get all 500 in today.
Hey, you have one. Go ahead.
Is anything on the table in terms of punishment for Kenseth? Could you guys go as far as sitting in the rest of the year?
I think we'll look at it, Nate. I think by stating that we're going to discuss it, there's certainly some things we want to look at and compare it, look at videotape, have conversations, like we do with any of these incidents. We never make an announcement on a Sunday night. So it's something we still want to review, and yeah, there are options on the table for us.
Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you. You have one, Jenna?
Are you confident his right front is around?
We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna review all the tape.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve. Jeff Gordon.